You cannot trust a system if you can't see what that system is doing. So that's why I believe in this so much. I believe that it's not about how much we spend, it's about how we can spend better. I want to have a conversation about the work I've been doing around public spending and the tracking of public spending. Many of you will have seen in the past few months some of my videos of me asking questions in the Public Accounts Committee. I ask questions, I try to get the best answers out of people I possibly can. I try not to attack people, I try to be as constructive as possible, and the most importantly, I try to get my facts straight. Because if I can ask straight questions, I'm hoping that I can get straight answers. And the reality is that it is quite a daunting place for somebody to come into the Public Accounts Committee and to be interrogated essentially. My goal is to achieve the very best outcomes for our country and for our state. And that means not just how much money we're spending. We can spend limited money, and the state has proven that time and again. What matters is how well we spend our money. And the number one question I get from people about my Public Accounts Committee appearances is what happens after the questions are asked? Is anything achieved? Does anything get better? So the first thing that's important for me to point out is before I launched my public payments tracker last year, we had about 24 billion euros covered in it, myself and Matthew Fenlon. And since then, with consistent effort and raising it in public accounts and writing state bodies, we now have over 80 billion euros of spend tracked. This is progress. The other thing is that I have to say every single state body has been willing to engage with me. They've been willing to work with me and they want to see the system improve. And they're hungry as much as I am to actually see the system improve. And it's important to call out good work when it happens and actually reward that. So one thing that happened was I had a meeting today with the National Treatment Purchase Fund. Now, if you were watching a few weeks ago, you will have seen that I raised questions to them around data quality, around some of the reports on their websites, around issues, and I had a very constructive meeting with them today. All of those data quality issues have been rectified. Where I highlighted payment issues, those have been rectified and they admitted that they had got it wrong. But I don't mind if somebody gets it wrong and then they're able to correct it. But the way that the National Treatment Purchase Fund has come forward so constructively, it's really positive, because often you will see the video of me asking the tough questions in public accounts, but you won't see the follow-up and all the work that goes into actually fixing these systems. So, for example, the National Treatment Purchase Fund has put in place a new standard operating procedure to double-check all reports before they're published. And this is really important because if I'm using this data to show you what's happening, I have to be sure that the data is checked and that it's good quality. So this is really welcome. As well as that, we've had some massive wins recently. The Children's Hospital published its first ever set of purchase orders from the end of last year and the start of this year. The Children's Hospital as a construction project has been ongoing for years and they never published the data, but we highlighted it to them that they weren't doing it, and now they've started to do it and they're going to back publish it as well. Important to say, TII, Transport Infrastructure Ireland, responsible for all of our large road projects, was never publishing the data. Now we have them publishing the data and it's available on their website. These are just a few examples of what is possible. I'm going to actually mention the HSE as well. The HSE wasn't publishing its data in machine readable format. We have now got them to publish that information in machine readable format online for payments over 100,000. This is really positive. And not only that, but when they have their IFMS system, it's their new financial system put in place, they're going to be able to publish all purchase orders over 20,000. And that is going to open up it'll open up the HSE to a huge amount of scrutiny, but it will provide much more transparency to people. You cannot trust a system if you can't see what that system is doing. So that's why I believe in this so much. I believe that it's not about how much we spend, it's about how we can spend better. And this is where I'm taking it with public accounts and with public procurement. I'm working with all of the public bodies that come into the Public Accounts Committee. Yes, when they come in, I will ask as many tough questions as I possibly can in a limited space of time. But when they leave, I want to work with them constructively, like I have with the National Treatment Purchase Fund, to see improvements in their organisations, to see improvements in their systems, and ultimately to ensure that you can have faith that politics is working in this country, that it's working for people who are paying taxes, and that ultimately we get better outcomes from our state. Thank you.